later than usual for a broadcast, but I want to go through some of the news that I'm seeing, some of the feelings that, some of the thoughts that have been coming, and just the general outlook of where things are holding. I think we've entered an entirely new age. I think that I think that that at the very least, the matrix is now visible to many more people than it was before. Before I get to the news, I just want to make some general comments. One is that I realized that I had to stop. I'm a very big XRP person. I've been an XRP, maven. I mean, I've been interested in XRP for many years. I just don't. I cannot tolerate the lack of depth in a lot of these XRP people. At the same time, we're seeing, it seems like, and I haven't checked lately, we're seeing that Bitcoin is separating from XRP, which means that Bitcoin could be going down and XRP is going up. But the enthusiasm for this wealth transfer is beautiful, and I've been there, I've done that. I got the t-shirt. But something just occurred to me, and I'm just going to go through this quickly because I know people want to get to the news. Something occurred to me this afternoon, and I put a couple. I think I did a short video on it, but there was a post from one of these XRP dudes, and I mean no offense to them because, like I said, I'm a recovering XRP loudmouth myself. But the guy said if XRP went to $10, $20, $100, whatever it was, would you quit your job? And I just thought to myself, what is wrong with you? And it's probably a reflection of my own inner workings that I would react so strongly. But the idea that you would quit your job because of something that happens in the outer world is, and hear me out on this. I'm going to put the chat on so I can see everybody. Hear me out on this. This is just like a kind of a reality check. But if you're waiting for XRP to quit your job, you're insane. I mean, I'm sorry. I shouldn't be so critical. You're this is the problem. This is the problem, and this is the next step for humanity, because we've been so brainwashed to believe that it's all about the money. Like, well, if I can't do it because I have to retire. I can't do it because I just don't have enough. I think I'm going to have enough next year, and then I can do it. This whole attitude is it's to be expected. It's to be expected by brainwashed people that something outside of you has to happen for you to be able to claim your life. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, it's like, well, because something outside of me did change my life. And I'm not like giving myself like I'm so great and these people are insane. I'm not going there, but I'm just saying, like, do you see are we waking up to the idea that we are in control of our own lives? Could it be that we have more control than we realize? Or do I have to wait for a certain monetary event to occur before I can really be myself? This is problematic thinking, in my opinion. But I'm not really, I'm not really in a position to judge other people around this. But it seems to me, and my experience, it seems to me from experience that if you want to do something, you should do it. You don't need to wait for XRP to go to $10. If you're waiting for XRP to go to $10 before you quit your job, I I think you should just quit your job. To hell with the XRP. You don't like you hate your job, so you have to wait for somebody else, for something outside of your own holy domain to give you permission to be yourself. And I'm not saying that I don't understand people who are in that situation, who have kids and don't want to rock the boat and can't afford, to just quit their job. It's just that I personally believe that we are creators and we can do whatever we want. And I don't mean to belittle anybody else. I'm sorry that I keep apologizing in a way, but I'm just saying, like, it, I finally realized that I just have to block this person. I just can't listen to any more people saying, like, when XRP does this, I'm going to do this. That is not the right thinking. When XRP goes, it's cause and effect. We are leaving that mindset. That is slave mentality. That I can't operate until something outside of me, till Big Brother comes and gives me a hand and saves me. Until this event occurs, I cannot. That is okay. it, it's good to notice. I'm not saying that people should just quit their jobs. I'm just saying that you should be aware of the fact that if you don't like your job and you're still doing it, that maybe there's another way. That's all I'm saying. And I want to couple that to one other thought. And this is another thought that came to me today that I think is very interesting. And that is that in the Old Testament, what does God do? He separates the land from the water. He separates day from nights. He makes you he gives us the concept that there are 7 days in a week, even though those 7 days may not fit exactly into a year and you have to make some corrections. There's 7 days in a week, and there are 24 hours in a day. And we have to be aware of all these separate things. And the concept I'm about to share, and I will get to the news shortly. I don't want to make this a long concept, but I have discovered out here living, on in nature to a large extent, and living with the idea that I have to get. I don't need a plan for how to build a house. I mean, this is kind of an outrageous thing for me to say, but it's like my idea is that I just need to collect the right materials and then I'll figure out how to build a house, which is what I've basically done. So what I've discovered out here living on the land is that there are times when I'm outrageously in the flow. I'm outrageously what's the word? In the groove, I think they call it. There's a term for it. During those moments, what is occurring? One, I'm totally oblivious to what time it is. Two, I'm totally oblivious to I'm totally oblivious to what day of the week it is. I don't care. I don't need to be concerned about that so much. And three, I'm doing 5 jobs at once. In other words, I have to get this done by 6 o'clock. I'm not working for anybody else. I'm working for myself and Daniela. So I may go out to fix the toilet and end up putting in a window and digging the garden and doing all these things at once without this heavy prison of separation. Or you have 3 hours to do this. You can't do it on Friday. You must get it done by early fall. Those kinds of thoughts come from the idea that everything is separate. Everything is separate. XRP is separate, right? And when it goes off, I'll be able to do something. I can separate. Everything is, it's the day or night. It's Sunday or Tuesday. But what I've discovered up here is that I am happiest when I'm totally oblivious to the idea of separation. I'm just walking outside of my RV and doing things that, I got my tools all there. I'm going to do this first, and then I'll go over here and do that, and then I'm going to go get a bucket of water, and then I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to fix it's just unity. Unity consciousness means that we we don't have to be we don't have to compartmentalize our lives. Okay, now I'm going on a date. Now it's Saturday. I can enjoy myself. I'm off the clock. In order to be, for me personally, in order for me to be outrageously happy, all I have to do is be off the clock. I don't even know what time it is. I have to ask Daniela what times she kind of like I allow her. We have this relationship where she shepherds the time, and she'll come out and she'll say it's 11 o'clock. We're obligated to do this now, and I'm like, okay. But before that announcement, I'm not thinking about the time. I'm building a house in the wilderness. So in my opinion, the next level of thinking, and I think this whole, like the last 6,000 years, according to the Old Testament, is that God separated day from life, and we always said, "Wow, man, that's so cool." But I'm saying to myself, well, maybe that's not so cool. Maybe it's not so cool that we have all this separation. Maybe the days of the week is a total fabrication. Maybe the time of day and the idea that I have I only have another 5 years until I get older. These kinds of thoughts. Maybe that's just total bullshit made up to imprison us in this matrix of separation instead of being in unity consciousness. What is unity consciousness? I'm just I'm just doing stuff. I know what I'm doing, but I'm doing this stuff, and this morning we went for like a 2-hour hike. That was just part of this unity consciousness, because we hadn't really explored that region of the land here, whatever it is. But I just wanted to mention that concept. Now I'll leave you guys alone. And I'll go to the news. But in order to free yourself from the matrix, we have to free ourselves from this idea that somebody's going to come and save the economy, that I need that so I can leave my job and live my life. We need to separate ourselves from the idea that this is just the way it was written in the Old Testament, and it's godly. It's for real. There's 7 days in the week. I'm like, why? Why not have, why even have a week? If you're in a kind of unity consciousness where everything is, you're totally in the moment, you don't need time. You don't need to be imprisoned or enslaved by how many, and I am too. I'm guilty of it too. We live from hand to mouth. I mean, we went to town today. We had 100 and plus money. So we bought a tank full of propane gas. We bought gas for the car, and we bought a couple bags of potato chips. That's all we could afford. But we're limited by this consciousness. But in 2 days, I'll get another check, and then I'll be able to go into town and buy some windows. Or, it's just it's a kind of a, like, I think all this separation is that when you start to notice it, and that noticing it is the first step to say, oh my gosh, I'm so, and like Danielle told me tonight. She says, you're moving too fast. You're trying to get too much done. I'm like, yeah, but I have to so I do have some pressures like that. I do want to broadcast. I do make the time. I think it's important that I express myself in this way. And I don't get paid. I don't get paid for this. I'm not, and it doesn't bother me in the least. This is what I do. This is my job. I don't need anyone to tell me, well, Ellie, you haven't made any money from broadcasting in 5 years. Why are you bothering? I'm like, because it's what I do. And or people say, if you did a channel on living off grid, you could make some money. I'm like, well, that's not what this is about. It's not about for me. That's not why I'm doing this, to tell people how to live off grid. I mean, if people get that, that's fine. I do it because this is what I do. I don't need anyone's approval. I do this no matter what. I broadcast almost every day of the year, 6 days a week. I'm not waiting for, originally I was like, okay, the Department of Education is going to give me all my back pay for firing me illegally, and then I'll be okay. And I was like, okay. And I just went off. I left my home on the East Coast and just started going out West, figuring that pretty soon I was going to get a couple $100,000 from the Department of Education or more. And it hasn't happened yet. So I was like kind of dependent on this thing, but anyway, I found out in my travels that it's not necessarily necessary. In other words, you can manifest things. If you really want something, you can do it. And I think that's the thing, is that we've been so imprisoned to believe that we are these economic peons and slaves to this outer the money. But now the whole money situation is about to change. And so the guy is right. When you get to $10, will you quit your job? I mean, it's a reasonable question. But the answer is, if I want to quit my job, I don't have to wait for XRP to be $10. I should be quitting my job today. If it has no function in my life, it has no purpose other than to keep me shackled to a system that eats children, maybe I should just quit today and not even worry about it and just go for it and see what happens. Just a thought. Anyway, the idea of time, once you get outside of time, that's when for me, the pleasure begins. And I think we're already in a whole different dimensional environment now. And that where we are beyond time, and we are able to create whatever it is we need. I'm also going to mention something else, and this is and then I'm going to launch into the news. But I want to make a confession, and that is like this: Daniela and I have not had our X39 for about a week, and I've been racked by pain. I've just been, I mean, everything is painful for me. We do a lot of heavy lifting out here, a lot of heavy moving and lifting and digging, and I've been in so much pain. And then today, we found out that we had ordered some X39 a few days ago, and SP6. Yeah, you're right, Daniela. And SP6, which is for your endocrine glands. She really thrives on SP6. It really, but I got to tell you, the second I put on the X39 patch, my pain went away. Not totally away, like I didn't feel, but the level of pain. I mean, I felt like I could barely walk. And then it was just like, oh yeah, I could feel my body's like kind of struggling, but it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt the way it does when I don't have an X39 patch on. So if you're waiting, like, well, Ellie, what's Ellie talking about? Now, I understand that not everyone is ready for this level of miraculous healing. People just cannot deal with it. I mean, I gave it to my mother because she got boosted like 6 times. I said, "Mom, take this X39. It'll reset your stem cells. It'll stimulate stem cell production. Just take it." And she's like, "Well, it's just she just can't she doesn't comprehend the idea." And I also was guilty of this. I didn't comprehend how miraculous this healing technology is. My aches and pains are gone instantly, but not everyone can handle it. Now, I mean, people are, you could tell people, you could give it to them, and they're just like, "Hey, man, some patches. Yeah, maybe it worked, maybe it didn't. I don't know." I'm telling you, from my experience, I had that attitude for 2 years. I couldn't conceive of the idea that maybe it's really, really good. I just said, "Okay, I'm putting this stuff on my body, and we'll see what happens." And then I realized, wow, it is an exceptional technology. So I just want to share Dr. Stacy's contact information. If you feel pain, you have a few years on you, and you feel the aches and pains of your age, call Dr. Stacy and get some X39. It's really worth it. I'm just going to play, and 812-455-6897. Now, like I said, not everyone is able to understand that something could be kind of miraculous. It's people just, and I'm guilty of that myself. But it took me 2 years to realize, wait a minute, I'm not napping. I'm not getting older. I'm getting stronger. My body is in better shape than it's ever been, and I don't feel pain working outdoors all the time. So I want to, and let me just, we'll just finish this with a quick video, and then I'll go to the news.
Off to work shortly, and this is how I start my routine every morning with the LifeWave X39. I just take out the patch and I just peel it off like this. Very simple. It's got a sticky back, which is organic M3, and I place this on my back here. Take the old one off, put this here, and I leave that on there for 12 hours each day, and this helps with pain reduction, brain fog. Just makes me feel good every day. So they're one of the benefits, and then over the next few days I will be explaining more about X39 and how it benefits myself and other people around the world. Thousands of people using it every day for that reason. And then I'll explain. I won't go into all the science. I'll just tell you how it benefits everyone. Have a good day now. Bye.
So yeah, so that's my shameless promotion. But if you want to live an optimal life, please call Dr. Stacy. It'll take about 3 minutes. She's really quick. She's incredibly efficient. She's brilliant. She'll just sign you up, and you'll get the X39. Try for yourself. But if you're in pain all the time, like I was this week, please, there's no reason for it. Okay, so now let's go to the news. I can use the X39 and do a week without, um, and I reuse the patches too. That's interesting, right? That's total nonsense. And I reuse the patches too. Okay, I use the patches and I do a week without it. It isn't going. It isn't going to do nothing. Okay, so I use the and go a week without it. It isn't going to do nothing. I don't know. Are you a troll? Probably a troll. And go a week without. Yeah, these are trolls. Okay, so let's just. Um, okay, good. Yeah. Okay, fine. Um, okay, yeah. So some people want to. They're like, oh, it doesn't do anything. I mean, if you have that mindset, it's probably not going to do anything. I find them incredibly effective. I like to share something that I think is really good for people. Anyway, let's now go to the news. I haven't been following things in the last day or two, as because we're very busy out here. We're doing a lot of things. We went to town. We got some. We got our X39. That was like the primary reason to go to town, and I'm so glad I did because I'm not in pain right now. So yeah, for the trolls it doesn't work. For somebody who cannot conceive of the idea that something could actually be beneficial to you, other than the kind of the crazy drugs that a lot of the mainstream medical practitioners like to dole out, the drug pushers. It's not for everyone, but for people who can conceive that we're coming into a very different kind of lifestyle, a very different kind of life, a different dimensional life where things will mean different things and that we will reclaim our purpose. We're not just going to do our job until XRP goes to $10. We are just not going to do a job that doesn't make sense, period, ever. We are. Say, well, we're going to be millionaires. Like it's not going to matter to be a millionaire because the idea of being a millionaire is that you don't have to think about money all the time. Okay. So anyway, so let's go to the news. I think it's good, but it's a few dollars. When you compare it to the cost of insurance, health insurance or drugs from the pharmaceutical companies, it's nothing. It's like, maybe $3 a day. It's insignificant for the benefits of what you get. But like I said, it's not for everyone. Not everyone really wants to be healed. They really don't want to be healed. It's just like a lot of people don't want to necessarily get involved with XRP for whatever reason. But these things are out there and they are available to all. Okay, let's now go to the news. Think this thing, I wanted you to remember that, being off the clock is where the pleasure is. And that this idea of separation, where everything is separate, is what keeps us in a prison like state. Once you realize that it's all connected, this is like where you want to be, that it's connected and I don't have to think about it. I don't have to figure it out. I just have to be involved and do it. For me, it's just as simple as walking outside the RV, and I got tools everywhere. So where's my shovel? Where's I do spend a few minutes looking for things, but it's unity consciousness. I don't. It's not even. There's no thought. There's no thought going on. It's just like we're just doing. We're just building. We're creating. We're fixing. It's unbelievable. It's so much fun, and I'm not worried about like, oh my gosh, I have to go to a meeting in 20 minutes. It's like there is no one. There's no one up here. Okay, so anyway, heard it's you're not trolling for sure. Okay, well that's good. Much technology must suppress from society in the interest of big pharma greed. I think so too. Wave theory is one of those areas. Yeah, I think so because they big pharma would squash this like a bug instantly. They would love to get hold of this technology so they can remove it from people. Okay, so yeah, want this? Yeah, yeah, just call Dr. Stacy. I mean, let me put it up one more time. Just call Dr. Stacy or text her and order a sleeve. It's like $90 for 30 days, and try it out yourself. Some of the patches are $60, some of them are $90, but you get a month's supply. If you want to reuse them, God bless you, man. I don't necessarily see anything wrong with that, but I personally don't. The sticky, I could, because the truth is that so just text or call Dr. Stacy 812-455-6897. The truth of the matter is that I cannot sleep with X39 on my body. So, after 12 hours or whatever it is, I mean, I use it more than 12 hours. I put it on at like 7 in the morning and I take it off at like 9 or 10 at night. But I will not be able to sleep. I cannot sleep with X39 on my body. So I have to be very careful. I've gone to sleep with it on and then I wake up a couple hours later like It's not a pleasant feeling. There are sleepy patches, like there is aloe vita, which helps you sleep, and there's one called Silent Nights, which helps you sleep. But again, these put nothing in your body. They're non transdermal. They are just patch. They don't. It's not like a nicotine patch that puts nicotine. These reflect your light back into your body in specific wavelengths. It's like quantum healing. It's unbelievable. Okay, so with that said, let's now go to the news. But and thank you to all those brave enough to try this out. I really appreciate it. It does benefit the channel, and I appreciate it. But the physical benefits that I experience from X39 are, there's no drug out there that could do this. There's nothing else. There's no, you know, therapy. There's no, I don't care what what you're doing. This stuff is harmless, quick, and effective as hell in reducing pain for an older, for somebody who has more chronologic years. Anyway, I was looking at the news, and I don't want to share this with you guys because I think we are in a different phase of this operation. We are with the use of the ISO 222 coins. They've totally taken out the deep state. The deep state is no longer has the funds. All the NGOs that Doge was able to cancel, all this stolen money. Bitcoin now is going down. I believe. I haven't looked at it lately, but they are losing their financial, this whole scam, this whole shell game of like, where's the money? Is it under this shell or this shell? It's over there. It's Swift system. Oh, I just sent it over. Oh, but it's going to be, oh yeah, 3% over here and 5% over there, and yeah, 2% over here, and I'm going to hold your money for 30 days, or 3 days, or your money will clear in a little while. It takes a day for your money to clear. It's like and they take the money and they invest it. It's just a scam. It's a total scam. Not to mention the fact that it's all debt based. There's no real asset backed currency. It's just like they just print money and expect you to believe in all this stuff. So if you're working your job and you're waiting for your XRP to come in so you can quit your job, why? Just quit your job. I mean, why are you paying your credit card bill? Why are you paying your mortgage? Why why? Well, I want to finance people who love babies. What does that mean? They love babies. They love babies. They love to do things to babies. I want to support them, right? They like little kids. I want to give them, yeah, I got to pay my credit card bills. I have to have insurance because what if something happens to me? Well, if something happens to you, you just go to the doctor, and the doctor has two prices. He has a price for people who have insurance and a price for people who don't. So if you don't have insurance, it's like, oh yeah, that's like $200, man. If you have insurance, it's $2,000 or $20,000. So make your choice. It's a new world where we know now what they do with the money. Chemtrails. They'll invest. You want to pay your credit card bill so that the creepazoids can still keep the chemtrails rolling. I don't know. It's an individual decision for everyone, but everyone has to really just decide for themselves. I don't want to force, I don't want to say, you should quit your job, and you have to come to it yourself. It has to make sense to you. But all these things that are coming out, like this rebellion against Trump. Okay, let me
You should look at the the chat
the chat. Okay. Cancel this chat
about LifeWave
about LifeWave. Okay.
on YouTube.
On YouTube. Got everything for a bad shoulder. Yeah, I mean you got a bad shoulder, man. Get some
And
X39
headaches too.
and headaches. You got whatever it is you got, man. X39 reflects your own light back
And
into
Ice Wave.
and and ice wave. Ice wave is good for pain. This is Daniela speaking. She's telling me what to say. But um yes, these patches are great for pain. I have severe back pain from working too hard. And the X39, I stuck it on the back of my spine, on the lower part of my spine. I can, I can do stuff now. I'm not in pain, and I have enough sleeves for the next 15 days. I can share it with Daniela, and then, but in the next couple of days, I get a check, and then I'm going to, get a couple sleeves, so I don't have to go without it. But any kind of pain, that's the thing. We've been lied to about from the doctors and the this whole situation has been a scam. They want to give you painkillers that hurt your body. If you're in pain, you get some ice. You take Tylenol, man. You get your flu vax, and then you're for sure dead, man. I mean, I don't want to say that on YouTube. I've had enough problems with YouTube, but you know what I'm saying. This is a real technology that's a healing technology. It's very different from the kind of medicines that deal with symptoms. They try to cure your symptoms, but then they have side effects. But this has no side effects. It's light. It's just light. Your own, but it gets your stem cells activated, activates stem cell production, and it resets your DNA. It's an amazing technology. I can't believe I caught you live from Lake Havasu. Nice, man. Yeah, it was Vance. I was marveling as we were driving back from Kingman up to our mountain retreat. Usually Daniela does the music, but we have a guest. Her cousin is visiting, so he was sitting in the front seat. So I had to do the radio by myself. So I went on to FM and I scanned. I pressed scan. There's only one channel. It's a country music station from Lake Havasu. That's all there is, and I love it. I love country. I'm down for that struggle. I produce music from Nashville, but yeah, that's pretty cool, man. Yeah, Lake Havasu. We like it. We like Lake Havasu. We made some nice friends there. What? The link for LifeWave. Okay, I'll give you the link. I'll give you our link for LifeWave. Let me just think how I'm going to get this. Is it on Rumble or YouTube? YouTube. Okay. Well, let me give you a link. If you don't want to call Dr. Stacey, I'll give you a link to my my thing. Hold on. Let's see if I can do this. Here it is. Okay. Oh no, that's not what I wanted to do. Okay. Okay, I got it. All right, so new tab. Okay, here we go. This goes down. Let's see. Here it is. Okay. All right. So I'm going to share you my link to if you want to just sign up. You don't want to call Dr. Stacey. She recommends signing up as a brand partner because you get better deals. But at any rate, let me just share my website. If you're taking Tylenol for pain, if you're taking codeine for pain, just get the LifeWave patches. Or I find, I mean, I've never tried the LifeWave, the IceWave patches. I like X39. X39 deals with my pain. I also have used Alavita for pain. But let me just share my, let's see. Yeah, let me just share my website. So my website is www.lifewave.com/Kabbalah Guru. No pain, no poison, LifeWave. Order IceWave. If you're in pain, the IceWave patches, there are 2 patches, are specifically designed to cure, to unblock the energy that causes pain, according to Dr. Stacey. But you can call Dr. Stacey or you can just sign up under me. There's the information. It's an amazing technology. Oh, let me stop sharing. Okay. Well, and thank you for asking. I really appreciate all of you who have been brave enough to try the LifeWave patches. Thank you so much. There are people who just will never believe something is really good, and it won't work for them. You have to believe. You have to be in the flow. that's what, like I said, my mom is just like, hey, she's like, I don't know when to put them on. I can forget. I'm like, mom, it's just not for you. But if she was taking a medicine prescribed by a doctor, she would remember to take it. That's just because she's old. She's 95 and she's from a different generation. They were brainwashed way before we were. Totally brainwashed. I grew up, my father telling me that penicillin was the greatest discovery, and it saved his life and saved his ears and everything else. And you know, for them it was that, but they also killed him with medicine because he because people don't they think they're whatever. I don't want to go into that, but yeah, it's you got to have faith. You got to believe and but and try different things. Okay, so let's go to the news because I was kind of startled to find out that things are really moving along. We have made the next phase. There is so much disclosure going on right now. Trump is talking about people, of races that are not human, of being in contact with races that are non-human. They're talking about replacing Pam Bondi. Let me just go to some of these stories because I think they're phenomenal. Let's go to here. I'm just going to go to the general stories. Okay, let's go all the way to the top to the newest. The Muslim Brotherhood, who is the Muslim Brotherhood? The Muslim Brotherhood is a transnational Sunni Islamist organization founded in Egypt in 1928. It has influenced various political and religious movements across the Middle East and beyond with an ideology that has been interpreted in different ways over time, ranging from promoting peaceful political participation to advocating armed struggle. The group's history includes periods of significant power and periods of intense repression, leading to internal division and, in some cases, radicalization. Origin and ideology founded in Egypt, right, is rooted in a desire to establish an Islamic society and state. However, interpretations of this goal have varied over time. Now let's look at this Q post 1237 from April 22nd, 2018. The process of settlement is a civilization jihadist process with all the word means. The the Ikhwan Muslim Brotherhood must understand that their work in America is a kind of grand jihad in eliminating and destroying the Western civilization from within and sabotaging its miserable house by their hands and the hands of their believers. So so America will not tolerate those who fund and fuel radical terrorism. Today, President Trump took decisive action to secure America from terrorist threats by initiating the process to make the Muslim Brotherhood a terrorist organization. I assume that's what it is. I will never turn my back on Trump, right? The 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 foil hat fact of the day, it's not normal, guys. Every day more and more people realize what's happening in the sky above them. Yeah, it's not normal. It's sick. This is breaking. A sitting Democrat congressman is now staring down 53 years in prison. Representative Sheila, okay, I don't want to go into this, but has been indicted after investigating. She stole $5 million in FEMA disaster funds. All right, so these people are coming up. It's the Hollywood pedophiles. Former CIA officer confirms the existence of an elite pedophile ring operating at the highest levels of our society. Prince Andrew, Bill Gates, Bill and Hillary Clinton, William Burns, Rothschild, and many more are involved. Okay, this is disclosure on a grand scale. Former Navy SEAL humiliates FBI official into utter silence for targeting Trump while ignoring Biden crimes. Okay, they're out of control. One of the most important document, Out of the Shadows, Into the Light trailer. I'm gonna take a look at that later. But these people are being forced out of the shadows into the light. Mark Kelly is a retired captain in the United States Navy, may be called back to active duty for court-martial proceedings or administrative measures, and so it begins. Think about it logically. The only way is a military, fully controlled, save and spread, force verifies as first marker. Biggest advanced poll on Trump. The only way is the military. Okay? This should enrage your soul. The Doge team is just dismantled. They were close to exposing corrupt politicians who are enriching themselves through dark money NGO networks. Money, power, and arrogance are what run this town. I want names. So hopefully that will change. Holy smokes, footage has resurfaced of Democrat Congressman candidate Afton Bain running for the open Tennessee 7 seat, screaming after storming the office. Police had to drag her out like a child. Election day is December. Vote. Okay, so these people are nuts. Yeah, the fog, the chemtrails splinter the CIA into 1,000 pieces. That's what Kennedy said. The CIA needs to be shut down before it completely destroys America. Comey is code for the global currency reset. Moab. Go look at Moab. Drop contains Comey. Breaking. President Trump to sign an executive order from the Oval Office today at 4 p.m. The crypto reserve bill. Yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff going on. Like it turns out 3 men in Florida being charged with a felony hate crime for interrupting Muslim prayer didn't have to be charged with felonies. These charges were upgraded to make an example of them. CAIR praised the quick action, calling it a vital step. We have, okay, I'm not going to go into this whole thing, but this is a big deal, what's going on with Islam. Japan's PM says it's better for the politician to shrink than to fill the country with low-skilled immigration. Right. We've had enough. I believe the government has to be able, okay, because the Schmidt-Mundt Act was that the government could lie if it was in their interest. Trump's tight grip on the Republican base. Here it is. The Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard. There are still rats within the intelligence community who are protecting Barack Hussein Obama. These people in the intelligence community who don't want the information to see the light of day. Here's from Donald J. Trump himself. The traitors that told the military to disobey my orders should be in jail right now, not roaming the fake news networks trying to explain what they said was okay. It wasn't. It never will be. It was sedition at the highest level, and sedition is a major crime. There can be no other interpretation of what they said. They tried to scrub this video from the internet. Yeah, this was all the people that just dropped dead after the getting the medical treatment. Okay. Breaking. Former Director of Intelligence James Clapper admits that Barack Obama directed he and James Comey to carry out the Russia hoax in order to frame President Trump and members of his campaign. His exact quote, Jim Comey and I were part of the group that were tasked by Obama to put together all the reporting that we had on the Russian interference. All the walls closing in, it appears that these men are getting desperate and beginning to sing like a canary on the big fish, Barack Obama. Clapper, Comey, and former CIA Director John Brennan are rumored to be cooperating with authorities to help solidify their massive case against BO. It's all unraveling now right before our eyes. Justice is on the doorstep. Okay, and here's, yes, it just happened 11/22/2025. They're saying that XRP is going to be 1-to-1 with gold, XLM silver, XDC copper, Algorand palladium, and IOTA um, indium. I think it's indium. This is interesting. Bring back the colors, black before and after. Okay, the Tartaria. Doctors drop truth about mammograms. It's all a scam. Morning, noon, afternoon. Um, I wanted to play USAID. Yeah, over half a century of George Soros tied to the U.S. State Department, robbing the American taxpayer blind, using your money to fund NGOs and terrorist organizations to topple governments, including the United States of America. Um, okay. It's just coming out. Democrats laundered 93 billion during the 76 days between when President Trump was elected and Joe Biden was leaving. Okay, it's just the information is just pouring out. Maxine Waters just exploded on the House floor, and it was glorious. Called out Maxine Waters for being Fidel Castro's personal American tourist. For decades, Madam Waters, you traveled to Cuba. Very interesting. Okay, there was something I wanted to share from. Let me go to my feed for a minute. Okay, so this is the color of the news, the shape of the news, the tone of the news. It's getting more heated as the economy is now switched onto the rails of XRP and XLM and the ISO 222 coins. This is a new world. We're coming into a new phase of this operation. People must continue to fight against a vicious satanic enemy. Let me just go to my channel for a moment and then we'll call it a night. Okay, there were some things that I posted. Yeah, this I think is important. Pam Bondi, Muslim Brotherhood. Oh, that's me. Uh, but this report breaking: Sidney Powell is reportedly in talks to replace Pam Bondi as Attorney General, and General Michael Flynn is publicly and privately calling on President Trump to fire Bondi and appoint Powell as the next Attorney General of the United States. Unlike Bondi, Powell isn't just a Fox News lawyer and actually has the guts to fight for free and fair elections and prosecute the deep state. Bondi is all talk. Sidney Powell is action. This would be the best thing that could happen to the Trump administration right now. Sidney Powell understands the weaponization of the DOJ firsthand because she herself was a victim of it. President Trump, do this. We, the people, demand justice. Okay, it's happening. In my opinion, the justice is coming. The dam of lies is cracking. The geoengineering, crypto exchange Kraken will be launching debit cards. That's interesting. Okay, so let's go. Once the bees and plankton are gone, so are we. All right. Let's hope it doesn't come to that. New X stock up, tariff to. Okay, so all right. So that's just a few of the things. This is what storm, Mr. President, and you'll find out. The Epstein system, intelligence, biogenetics, and control. For years, the public has been told that the secrecy surrounding the Epstein file is meant to protect a handful of wealthy predators, a few billionaires, a few politicians, a few celebrities with compromised reputation. This narrative is a comforting illusion. It implies that the rot is narrow, surgical, and containable. The truth, the files are sealed for a far more profound reason. They do not merely implicate individuals. They expose the existence of a global architecture, a hybrid intelligence corporate criminal system that predates Epstein, empowered him, and continues to operate long after his disappearance. In the full content of the Epstein net, if the full contents of the Epstein network were ever disclosed, the public would see the intelligence agencies around the world have long used human trafficking, sexual blackmail, and illicit procurement networks as tools of political leverage. They would see how global banks laundered the system's money, how modeling agencies served as recruitment hubs for covert operations, and how philanthropies, universities, and scientific institutions were quietly infiltrated and repurposed. They would see that the tech giants intersected with Epstein's biogenetic experiments, how political dynasties relied on the same clandestine channels, and how foreign governments used Epstein as a diplomatic asset. All right, so the point is that we might be suffering from the delusion that they're protecting a couple of billionaires. The truth is they're protecting that the whole system, the political system, the medical system, the media system, the educational system, all these systems were in on it together. This is a gigantic human trafficking operation, drug running, drug pushing, and it's coming to an end because they're the watch the water, the currency that they use is coming to an end, and we're heading for the promised land. There's nothing can stop what's coming, in my opinion. I used to be far more ignorant, dangerous. The early contradicted real science, right? The Constitution and God. Let's see. Justice is definitely coming. Yeah, the foolish corrupt will continue to confound themselves as transports, right? Sydney, great choice. Yeah, we will see. I believe in. I mean, we're seeing it. We're seeing the world being prepped for what is coming. This is how the white hats operate. They prep you, they tease you, they bring out a little bit of information, and then they drop the bombs. And that's what's going on right now. I have land, let's build some tree houses and earth ships. Yeah. Freshwater springs, anyone want to do it? Yeah. It's a great idea, man. I mean, Arkansas is a great place to build. I just happened to found some land in Arizona. Full people with the title of NGO or congressional bill. Yeah, it's out of control. It's really out of control, but we are coming to the end of this. I really think that November 22nd, JFK's the anniversary of his assassination 62 years ago, is the end of the world as we know it, and we're coming into a whole new system, a whole new dimensional system where people won't be like, well, I just don't have the money to do that. They'll be like, I'm not doing that job anymore. Are you kidding me? For what? So because I get health insurance? Really? I don't need health insurance. I mean, I've proved that. Danielle and I have proved that. You don't need health insurance. You don't need to pay your credit card bills. You don't need to pay your mortgage. You are a free sovereign citizen. If you think you're going to get jailed by the IRS, listen, if you really think you're going to get jailed by the IRS, like my son, they scammed my son. They told my son, your father owes a huge amount of money to the IRS. And they forced my son to pay them what he had in the bank account, which was like $100. They guilt tripped. These were scammers. There's no IRS. It just isn't happening. But if you believe there's an IRS, then somebody is going to get your money. Somebody is going to convince you to get into a lawsuit that will hurt you. This goes under the category of we create our reality. If you're afraid of the IRS, do not stop paying taxes, because you will end up, some scammer is going to get you. I know these people. They're like, we will talk to the IRS for you. Don't worry about it. We got your back, man. Just give us this money. And these are scammers. This is a scam. And my son is innocent enough. He doesn't understand the the way these people operate. But if you're afraid, if you're afraid of getting scammed for crypto, some scammer is going to give you a scam that you'll get scammed out of your crypto. You have to build yourself up first. You have to know yourself. You have to believe in yourself. Do not answer anybody about crypto. I will never contact you. Gila will never contact you. Nobody's, Coinbase will never send you an email or a text saying you've been scammed. Those are scammers. I'm just telling you, if you don't really understand that you are a sovereign being and you don't have to bow down to anyone, you don't have to pay their stupid bills, you don't have to pay their stupid insurance, you don't need to do that. If you don't believe that, then you're not sovereign yet. And you shouldn't go there. It's not good for you, because somebody's going to convince you. Oh, this is Herman from the IRS, man. You're a bad boy, and we're going to collect, man. I mean, we're going to they told this to my son. They said, I said, Mendel, the IRS doesn't exist. He says, Tati, it wasn't the IRS, it was the state. I'm like, those were scammers, man. Nobody calls you up and shuts down your bank account. I mean, this is outrageous. And you do not have to answer their illicit legal bills or their legal, they served me papers. Some hunter came up here to serve me papers about my divorce. I'm in the middle of nowhere. Only a hunter could find out where I lived, and he did. And he was like, oh yeah, you're good. You have to do this. You have to. And I'm like, I said, I need, he gave me a stack of papers like this. This is over a stupid divorce. That's ridiculous. I mean, and these people have spent tens of thousands of dollars on this nonsense. And I just said, I'm out. I stupidly, they knocked on my door in the middle of the night when I was living in Queens, and they told me, and I stupidly got a lawyer. That's the biggest mistake you can do. Just don't even answer them. Don't answer the phone. Don't deal with these criminals. They're criminals. Look what they do with our money. You want to pay for that? Okay. Anyway, I'm not going to go there, but it's an individual decision. And if you're not really sure of yourself, if you feel like, well, maybe Ellie's right, but maybe not, don't do it. Because some scammer will understand that you will create that reality of being scammed. Because we're sovereign beings, we are connected to to divinity, and we are what we are. Okay, so anyway, I've been railing enough, but just you have to, at the end of the day, believe in yourself. And when you believe in yourself, you're like, hey, what? You want to sue me for what? I didn't pay my mortgage. The mortgage is illegal anyway. What are you talking about? Oh, we're going to, I don't know. Listen, you have to look into your own heart, but screw the government. Yeah. Havasu should have a t-shirt that says, I survived the 95. Yeah. No fear. Right. No fear, man. That's really that's the bottom line. Arkansas, me too. Yeah. It's slow and tell time. It's show and tell time. Yeah. Okay. All right. Anyway. All right. So enough with that. Let's play a quick tune. I'm gonna play. Let's play "Leaving the Matrix" because that's what this is. That's what this is all about. And President Trump and the White House have just cleared the way with the ISO 222. The banks have nothing. Oh, we're going to take. Oh, your money hasn't cleared yet, Mr. Weber. I'm like, why not? It's we need another. It's just ridiculous. They're scammers. Okay, so let's go to the tune and watch this together.
Living in the city, I was paying down my bills. One flat tire and the whole thing went to hell. Credit cards for groceries, I'm deep in debt again. It's time to split this scene, walk with you, my friend. Leaving the matrix, heading for the promised land. They stole our money, but they couldn't stop the plan. Let's go together, playing with the band. Leaving the matrix, we're heading for the promised land. Stopped paying taxes, your insurance I don't need. The medicines are killing us, hospitals grow like weeds. Moving to paradise, I don't need no gassy cars. Fake news, endless wars, a satanic legal bar. Leaving the matrix, heading for the promised land. They stole our money, but they couldn't stop the plan. Let's go together, playing with the band. Leaving the matrix, heading for the promised land. My friends all tell me I lost control. Left my wife and job just to run down rabbit holes. But I can tell you one thing about my fall. Where we go one, we go all. Leaving the matrix, heading for the promised land. They stole our money, but they couldn't stop the plan. Let's go together, playing with the band. Leaving the matrix, heading for the promised land. Leaving the matrix, we're heading for the promised land.
So we got this, man. But don't stress yourself. Don't try to carry more than you're really able to psychically understand. It's a process. You're gonna get to a point you're just like, I don't need this. I don't need this stuff, man. I'm out. And you will find a way because I mean, I was talking to Daniela. We were driving through town today and I was like, Daniela, do you remember how we got here when we stayed in this sleazebag hotel for a week with bugs and who knows what kind of criminals were around us? We came here with nothing. But we did have a suitcase full of precious metals, but so it wasn't nothing. But that was because as soon as the COVID thing hit, I went to my 401k and I cashed out, man. And then that's when the IRS went nuts. They're like, you can't do that. I'm like, really? I can't? No, I got the silver in my hand. I'm out. I'm gone. I mean, I don't have the silver anymore, but I'm just saying, you can do this. You can change the rules. You can stand up. You can figure out make a new plan, Stan. I mean, there must be 50 ways to leave the matrix. And like I said, don't force it, man. You don't go in, don't jump into the deep water until you're ready. But I like in like whenever it was 2020, I think it was, I was just like, I think it was even more before that. I was just like, I'm out. I don't believe you people. You shut down the whole world for this thing. I mean, I was just whatever. Anyway, and then then my job, then the YouTube channels. But it's like I'm doing what I want to do. I don't. It would be great to get paid big time for this thing, but if I get paid, great. If I don't get paid, great. It's this is what I do, and we're all like that. We all have stuff that really makes us happy and really makes us sovereign and makes us like gives us entrance into the promised land where we leave the matrix. But it's happening, man. I mean, the deep state is going down just piece by piece by piece. It is there's just and now that they can't just print their way out of this crisis. It's just a matter of time. What side of the portal do you want to be on? I don't know. I'm happy. I'm very happy where I am. Okay, so yeah, the redheaded giants. Listen, man. I mean, I woke up this morning and there was a javelina right, like 20 yards away from me. Like some people say, javelinas, man, they're dangerous. I was just like, hey, man, it's a cute little animal. And we were like, hi, Mr. Javelina. I'm not encouraging them. I wouldn't keep garbage outside or anything like that, but we live in the world, and the world has certain rules up here. I mean, there's certain, that don't really apply in town. But like I said, we came here with nothing, and we had to figure out a lot of things. We got ripped off a lot. Now we have two big 100-pound propane tanks. They're good for about 24 days as far as heat up here. So we can switch them out. So like a couple days ago, the heat just died. And Danielle was like, what are we going to do? Well, we had just gone the day before and we bought another tank. So for us, that's wealth. That's being rich. We have two big propane tanks. We can handle it. We can handle the winter. And when it's not raining, our solar panels are unbelievable. You can create whatever you want. You're sovereign beings. You're creators. So may the force be with you. May you realize that you are the force. You could do what you want. May source be with you. May you realize that you are the source. You can create whatever it is you can imagine. You can be, the universe wants you to be you. It doesn't want you to live with separation. It doesn't want you to necessarily be on the clock all the time, or under pressure, or under the gun, or living in this sick matrix creation. The nature wants you to be free, wants you to be up here looking at javelinas and crows and rattlesnakes sometimes. So what? It's tarantulas. So what? They're like they're bugs, man. I don't know. But anyway, so yeah, so just you use your power and use it wisely. Don't go crazy. Don't force yourself to do anything you're not really comfortable doing. But we're coming to a point of separation from the world of separation into the world of cosmic unity, where you're in the now, and whatever things will come to you the way they came. Like me, this big load of lumber, I took five trailer loads of lumber to get. I got enough to build two houses up here now, and that's what I really wanted. Now I'm doing it. You can create whatever you want. You can be whatever you want. You can make love, and you can have relationships that are unbelievable. It's never too late to have a happy childhood. I recommend getting the X39 if you're, if you got a few years on you and you feel aches and pains, man. This stuff is dynamite. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Just keep on keeping on. We got this. Everything is going in a beautiful direction. Don't listen to all these people that are doom and gloom on the chemtrails are going to kill us all. Yes, they've been doing this for years, but it's less now, and they will be eventually, in my opinion, eradicated. Doesn't mean we shouldn't be screaming and yelling about it. I think we should. So let's get out there with a big smile on our face and rock the